Okay, hello internet. Everything is broken.
Alrighty. Not a great amount of passage of time took place last session, and a lot of loose ends that you guys had island-wise have kind of been shorn up and cut off and taken care of and finished. And Mel has returned home from her pilgrimage to the Temple of Earth and Fire in the Bellowing Mountain in the lands of Ethmond after meditating, learning, and training under Master Hordek Fireforge. And gaining a portion of their technique to combine with her own. She returned home having heard rumors of migrating clanless, and shared this information with her party. The dwarves of the new Tidebreaker clan who'd set out from Ethmond arrived, minus one of their number after having a small run-in with some Calcarian patrol triremes in the Sun Sea. And after burial ceremonies, they learned of how and what went down. There was a purchasing of ships from Spartus that they salvaged that were former clanless ships. To expand your navy even some more and increase in trade. And lastly, when Mel arrived home, a lot of your buildings that have been under construction finished up, and the monastery that you have been so diligently working towards, Mel, finally complete.
Holy
off
shit.
of the temple that was constructed. Um,
And it brings some cool shit with it.
it does indeed bring some cool shit with it, Mel. This is your showcase.
Oh god.
The Monk's Monastery is a monument to contemplation and self-reliance, creating one or more of the following effects at the GM's discretion. With this constructed on your domain being the islands of Aspida, creatures age more slowly within the confines of the monk's domain. The temperature in the monk's domain is always temperate all year round, all day long. Violence of any kind in the domain has a 15% chance of summoning a source of earth who immediately uses back to earth to end violence. The monk can reverse these effects. You now have Stronghold Actions, which operate very similar to layer actions. So if you ever find yourself in combat on the island, you can make use of these. Stronghold Actions. On initiative count 20, losing initiative ties, the monk can take a Stronghold action to cause one of the following effects. The monk must be in the same hex or province as their stronghold, and can't be the effect can't be the same effect can. Sorry, let me try that again. The monk must be in the same hex or province as their stronghold, and can't use the same effect again until after a short or long rest. So one of the three that you could choose from is on initiative count 20. Until initiative count 20 on the next round, your skin becomes diamond. For the duration, you are immune to all but psychic damage. Choice number 2. You make 8 unarmed strikes against an adjacent enemy.
Oh fuck.
Choice number 3. You regain all ki as though you had finished a short or long rest.
Okay.
And lastly, this is one you get to take with you. These are abilities. This is the ability you get to take with you off of the island. Whenever you are attacked while you have unspent ki, you can ignore all of the attack's effects except its damage. You can do this a number of times equal to your stronghold level. after which you must take an extended rest to refresh this ability. An extended rest is residing and resting on your island for 1 season.
Huh. Okay.
I pasted the page with all of these on it into chat.
There you go. And the very last thing I need you to do is roll a D100.
Okay.
The very last. Pay no attention to that chart in the image, though.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did my D10 go? What the shit?
Source of Earth is a kind of elemental, yes.
Sorry, my D10 went missing, so I'm trying to figure out where the fuck it went.
I can't imagine you have only one.
Yeah, but oh, there it is. Okay, it's all underneath my... But it's Mel's D10.
Yeah, Gabo has special number rock that needs to be rolled now.
I apologize.
Okay. 59.
59. Roll again. Sorry.
Okay. 72.
72. Alrighty. As you arrive for the first time at the sorry, I'm just pulling something up here real quick. Please excuse, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
It's okay, I can't pay much attention to anything right now.
As you arrive at the monastery, there are already members of the Aspidin community that are there training, going through forms and learning. One individual walks up and approaches you and
sorry, my brain is busted. I got no sleep because it's too hot.
You must be Melano.
That's right. And you are?
My name is Arlania Warandi.
Let's give a nod.
I come from Sazgaroth in Tel'Run.
Uh-huh.
I have learned of what it is you are doing here, and I have decided to lend my diplomatic expertise to your cause.
Your diplomatic expertise.
Indeed.
Sorry, I'm not really caught up in Tel'Run's. No, just kind of waving her hands a little bit, all that stuff. Sorry, I just got off the boat.
I understand. You're wondering what kind of benefits that I can perform for you and why you should be glad that I have offered my services to you. Well, for one, I can provide you valuable insight and knowledge into the goings-on of the court of Tel'Run and the political situations within. I can provide you some intelligence as well as curry messages, sometimes through back channels, if that is something that you need, something that you don't trust sending a raven for. I have contacts all around and throughout the islands of Tel'Run, and my knowledge of their laws and societal outlook can be invaluable to you. In addition, if you were inclined to spend the coin, I can introduce you to some Elven mercenary bands that you might be able to add to your meager forces that you already have here on the island.
Mm-hmm. He's doing one of those like polite, not so polite staring, but just like no expression, just trying not to be offended by like she's used to Donald at this point. This is
and
Thanks,
that is
Val.
definitely a vibe that you get. What you see before you is an middle-aged elven woman wearing very fine and well-kempt robes of some sort of nobility or another, to show station as well as the fine craftsmanship of them. Her hair is pulled straight back and falls, is not tied in any way, but almost as if it's slicked back and then falls to the small of her back. She is probably just shy of 6 feet tall, and has a sort of circlet or tiara is not quite the right word, more of a circlet that helps hold her hair back, with a sort of presentory facial expression that is kind of always smiling, kind of like how you see a lot of salespeople when you're at market kind of have that like customer service smile almost.
oh, this is like I think of an anime. It's like that anime like fox smile face. People that don't like.
Yeah. They're like, I have to do this because of my job, but I would rather not be putting this face on. But it helps me achieve my goals faster, so I do this.
Mm-hmm.
The robes are of an emerald and silver with trims of gold and fine ornate elven filigree and floral patterns woven throughout them.
Oh, certainly willing to talk. Yeah, for sitting down with the rest of the group sometime.
Certainly, I am at your disposal if you have any questions about elven culture or the politics there or specific individuals that are, even of a gossipy nature. I do have my little birds all throughout Telrune.
Oh, that's useful. I'd be glad to talk about that.
For the most part, I will stay here at the monastery, but am, as I said, at your disposal for whatever tasks, travel, or information gathering you need.
I'll just give her an. No, I appreciate that.
And should you ever be hosting delegates specifically of an elven culture or any culture, I'd be happy to help coach you and be present to guide you in your diplomatic endeavors.
Oh, God. Just that moment of, oh, I see what this is. This is an intervention for my... All right. Oh, thanks. God. Can we talk to elves? My brain is gone.
You rolled it.
How does one elf? Explain.
How does one elf?
Who does one elf?
Take a sick, insert it in your ass, and then go about your normal behavior.
We don't kink shame here.
While standing with extremely good posture. But that, so mechanically, obviously, you can go to them as opposed to making like history rolls or things like that. You can go to them and just ask them about information, anything surrounding where they come from, whether it's politics, culture, prominent individuals. They can tell you all about their public facings and probably more, as well as you now have access to hiring mercenaries with an elvish ancestry, and the benefits that go along with that. Mercenaries are much more expensive to hold and upkeep than your own forces, but it is an option that is available to you.
Okay.
Also helps open up trading markets with said culture. But anyway, with that out of the way, if I'm not mistaken, official date keeper, it is the beginning of July.
Yeah, I don't got anything more specific for you than that.
It is, yeah, July 2nd, we'll say, so that your stables and stuff are finished. What would you guys like to do? You have a few more months, a couple more months until General Ergoroth arrives in October.
Don't do anything to spend too much money. We have 6,000 gold left in the bank.
Can I put some of that towards creating some refrigeration inventory to sell off?
If it's going to make us a profit, then yes.
That's the intent.
Okay, then yes.
Additionally, before I forget, you're already undergoing the transformation of one of your units from light infantry to archers to a size larger and with medium equipment as opposed to light equipment. Ossel. Yeah, Ossel.
I'm here.
I said it right. Tocklin comes and finds you at a certain point and says, by the way, I wanted to give you a heads up. I've been listening to rumors down at the docks and whatnot with the comings and goings and everything. And it turns out that apparently I got word from, I've heard it from a couple different sources down at the docks from travelers coming and going, but apparently they were saying that there is a huge like herd of like skeletal undead that's like going from the deadening wood into the Raffel timberlands.
What the fuck?
That's odd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh!
Oh.
From where?
wait.
That's good. That's
What?
great news.
Is it?
I completely missed what happened. What happened in the
I mean, it's going to be the
Timberlands?
great news or terrible news. We all that we need to do is go find Artanis and figure it out.
I guess.
What happened?
But yeah, so there was some merchants that were traveling the road between Herndam Tower and Meridia, right? And so one of them was saying that he heard, and I heard this again from a couple different sources, but the most compelling story was this one guy said that they were running low on supplies, so he went hunting in the deadening wood. And he heard a bunch of noises, and so he hunkered down, thinking it was like a herd or something, but it was like hundreds, maybe even thousands of these like shambling skeletons that were just making their way west from the deadening wood. And then I heard another story from a guy who was in Spartus who said that he went to watch the apple runners, and he said he saw the same thing.
All right.
And then I talked to this other dwarven trader who said he was going up and down the God's Run River, and they had they found all these tracks on the riverbank where they were camping one night, where it looked like a mercenary company had moved through, but only half of them were boot prints, and the other ones weren't feet prints. They were they were bone feet prints, you know,
Right.
like they just walked along the bed of the river and walked right up and out and just kept going.
All right. So it's either really good news or really bad news, but we'll not know until we talk to Artanis. So, I mean, you know about the codex, right? I don't need to.
I mean, I know there's some fancy thing that the elf magic guys got.
No, there's another one.
Oh, the one back home,
Yeah.
Sorry, old
No.
habit. The one back in Ethmon and Grim Rule.
Ethmon will always have our hearts as our home, but
You gotta get used to calling this place home, you know.
yeah.
But anyway, no, yeah, I mean, I know what you told me.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go. Fuck! I have to walk all the way across the island to go to Artanis' stupid wizard tower because it
Here,
We got a road there now.
you got a road to you've got a road to the quarry, which has a smaller roads to the tower.
Speed things up for you.
Yep.
and Dummel's
So I apologize,
fucking
chat.
probably doing some
My
dumb
brain is
shit.
scattered. I did not get any sleep last night. It was way too
Fine.
hot. My apartment building
You
hasn't
busy? You
turned
wanna
on air
walk with
conditioning
me?
yet, and it's like 90
Sure, if you want.
outside.
Use the company.
Yeah,
So
I
my
could
brain is being
stretch
boiled.
my legs. And so the two of you head off to Artanis' tower, where he has come to sort of, as of late, kind of locking himself away in his tower, doing his mad, scientist stuff. As far as you know, he's putting together Frankenstein with all those body parts he collected. But
Making a flesh golem.
With eye of hag and blood of dragon, I make this box cold. Yeah, I look at the little cast that I made that says "wipe your fucking feet," and I go, "Oh right, yeah," and I fucking wipe my feet. And I go,
Artanis, at this random hour in the middle of the first couple days of July, where is Artanis when he hears the ringing of the giant door knocker that is at the front of his tower?
Oh, very surely at his enchanting table.
You hear a loud doo, doo, doo echo through the tower from the front door.
Coming.
And you open the door to find a pair of dwarves, both familiar to you, both Talkland and Ossel, as they are finishing wiping their feet on your mat.
Thank you for doing that. What are you doing here? I didn't think you had any interest in these types of arcane goings on.
I don't. I need your other arcane abilities. Apparently, Tocklin has been hearing word of giant swaths of undead cutting through near dwarven lands, which means they might have unlocked something. So, would you mind sending out a little message to see if somebody figured out what a book said?
Heading towards Dwarven lands or from Dwarven lands?
No, like heading away from Harmden Tower and making its way through the Deadening Wood and towards Mount Olympia.
Aha.
Like clearing out a place of clanless with undead soldiers so they could start farming things.
Interesting. Yeah, of course. Come in. I guide them.
You guys come in. You see Aristotle is off to one side reading a book, and there's a mage hand floating next to him as he's like transcribing a book that he's reading, while at the same time there is a small, ghostly, unseen servant giving him a pedicure.
How do we see the pedicure, Bill? Can you explain how an unseen servant does a pedicure?
You can see like the tools being sort of like Mickey Mouse Fantasia sort of around, and you know enough to know that it's probably Artanis probably says unseen servant. You know, it's a spell that. But while eating grapes and sipping on a drink that's made out of domogranettes.
I
Like,
forgot we did that.
it's like a tropical sort of fruity thing that is also garnished with some pomegranate slices.
Making a fucking sex on the beach or
as you come through and you kind of see Aristotle, and he waves and he says, "Gotta love field research."
Yeah, you really look like you're roughing it there.
Oh, it's worth it, he says. As Artanis kind of gives you the tour of his tower, as he does to the rest of us. The rest of the tower, because I'm sure you've thought about it.
Yeah, there's definitely like it's how do I describe it? It's not like a musty old tower. Like it's like designed to let light in through surprisingly defensible windows, but somehow light is there with like vine like designs like the railways the banisters up to the staircase are carved to look like living flora and that kind of thing. And as I pass Aristotle, I tell him there may be some progress on the Dwarven Codex.
He said, you watch this, like everything just kind of gets and like folded up into like a dimensional pocket, and he says, what kind of progress?
Well, hopefully I'm about to find out. And I will send to Senator Jurgen, I suppose.
Okay. What is your message?
I'll say we've received news of a horde of undead moving into the Raffel Timberlands. Is this work of our dwarven allies or something to be concerned about?
A moment passes, and you get a response that starts with, just a minute. You don't really think that was addressed to you. It just kind of got caught in with the and then a shit, realizing that they have now 4 less words to use. But then says, migration of a herd of undead is news to me. I am under the impression our arcane masters are still in the learning about, and it cuts off because she runs out of
and my face probably gives off a sense of concern, and I'll burn another sending and say, then I recommend being watchful and getting a message to your raiders heading to the Timberlands to warn them, as it sounds like there are multiple reports of the herd.
You get a response back that says, we appreciate the heads up, and I will have my people send out ravens to the different ships immediately, though. We've been. She says, "What's the word I'm looking for?" In addition, I guess we've been hearing rumors of clanless movements in the same general directions. Thought you should be aware.
I'm not going to burn another sending. I will share all that with Ossel and Aristotle. Unfortunately, it sounds like this was not work of the Codex, and the dwarves are going to alert their people in the area, and we should be on our guard as well, I suppose.
Aristotle's, he looks visibly disappointed. He's like, got my hopes up for nothing, and he kind of like does some finger motions, says a few magic words, and resumes his scribing. Yeah, his scribing is how he would describe it.
So you see Ossel's face just sank with, like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then fucking terrible news. Like, fucking alright. Not gonna. Thank you, Artanas, for sending the message.
You're welcome. Should we do anything else to take any kind of action?
How many more spells you got?
For the first two I've used today.
Roll 2d4.
A 6.
You've
4 and a
used
2.
You've used that many levels of spell slots throughout your daily activities of enchanting and other magical stuff.
All right.
And not counting the 2 you just used to do sending.
Okay. Well, I can send 2 more times today if that's what you're asking.
I don't know if Herndon Tower has already heard of it from what Tocklin said, and Spartus has already heard of it. What else is next?
I think I will be warning Telrune.
Maybe been in High Hill. Keep heading west. But of course, warn your people. Obviously.
I mean, there's a lot of ground to make up between. I can certainly warn Finnan, but it seems like there's a lot of area between the Timberlands and the High Hill Peninsula.
Well, if there's essentially, we've heard rumors that Spartus has already heard it. People over here in the God's Run River has already heard it. And Herndon Tower's already heard of it. So we can only hope that they're farther west than Mount Olympia or Mount Olympus. Heading towards the clanless. That might be a problem that sorts itself out. That would be nice.
Should we just assume that Spartus already knows of this?
Yeah, Tocklin heard a rumor that Apple Runners saw it.
Got it.
I don't know how you pronounce this. What's this in the common tongue? Fenloon?
Finlune?
That's not how you spell that. Maybe warn them.
Unfortunately, the website and engine I use to create these maps doesn't allow for accents over letters or Elven accents over letters. So.
Yeah, it needs an umlaut. So, yeah, I'd probably warn them
Yeah, I mean, unless you can think of anybody else for me to warn, I think I'll be using those sendings to warn Telrune.
I mean, you could, I look at Toclin, I look at Artanis, and I go, you could try to get some goodwill with Kalkaria and give them a warning.
I suspect that they already know.
I suspect they don't.
Well, that's their fucking problem.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know, just
You know,
taking,
those-
well, my thinking is, if they're not the direct cause of this, and, that's slowly going to be invading their nation, that would thin out their
Ellie!
troops a bit.
Thank you so much.
And maybe the Good Earth commune would be a little less
Ah.
guarded for a little bit.
Perhaps.
In this moment, Artanis, you get that familiar feeling of when Avelios is trying to commune with you.
I was just about to send to him. I need to take this message, and I
I need to take this phone call, excuse me.
please make yourselves comfortable, and then I head to my office to commune.
All right. You go into your office, and also, do you? Aristotle offers you some of the refreshments as an unseen servant. You don't see the unseen servant, but you just see like two more of those pomegranate cocktails come floating up towards you and Toclin.
Yeah, Can you summon another one of those? My feet are fucking killing me. I had to walk all the way from the you know, where we stay at, like the longhouse, and all the way to here just to get a message. I feel like is there like a
I've got
spell
you.
I can
I've
learn?
got. He goes, "I've got you," and he snaps his fingers and casts animate objects, and two chairs, like chaise lounges, kind of like walk over to you, and kind of like set themselves up for you as a floating set of manicuring tools comes over, and something just like starts tugging on your boot to like
Oh,
pull it up.
I don't know what oh fuck yes is in Dwarven, but I scream it.
The cocktail is a little tart. You think the pomegranates might been not haven't ripened yet.
Well, by nature they're quite bitter.
Exactly. Artanis, we cut to the black expanse that you go into for your commune with Avelios. And as you open your eyes in the black expanse and look across from you, it is not Avelios that you see.
I open my mouth to say I was just about to send to. Eh, who do I see? I drop to a knee and say, "My queen."
And she says, I mean, literally, it's just the two of us here. You don't have to do that. I appreciate the. So you do know of court protocol, then?
I try to be respectful as often as I can, and as I stand back up.
I received your delivery. Quite interesting information and accounts that you share.
I hope it's useful and productive.
Indeed, it already has. I've begun to bend my husband's ear, and I think he has showed an opening to our line of thinking.
That's Excellent news.
However, your compatriot, his father is being problematic.
Perhaps I could ask him to speak to his father.
If you think it will do some good, I would make sure it's discreetly. However, my recommendation would be to allow me some more time. Admiral Eros is my husband's oldest and closest advisor, who served his father faithfully for many years. He is not his wife, obviously, but his opinions still hold a lot of weight in the court and with my husband.
Of course. I will trust in your judgment. I do, however,
Give me some time, a few months.
of course. I was also actually going to send to you as well, as I've recently been made aware of some concerning news. It seems that the clanless dwarves that I mentioned to you in my letter may be being joined by some sort of horde of undead in the Raffel Timberlands. So putting Fen Lune on alert may be wise.
From our understanding, both parties did not travel much further west once they passed Mount Olympus and turned to begin heading south.
Well, that's also concerning, although I'm glad to hear that Telrune may not be the objective. Will warn my people here.
Our hope was that they were headed into the heart of the Empire for more. I mean, they are clanless, but they are still dwarves after all. Perhaps some sort of raiding. The undead was more disconcerting. But
Agreed.
we were under the impression that since you gave the dwarves mastery over the non-living, that they had something to do with it.
I did reach out to the dwarves, and at least Senator Jurgen seemed. Well, can I make a like an after-the-fact insight check to just see how well I believed her?
About what?
That the dwarves had nothing to do with the undead.
Oh, Jurgen? How,
Yeah.
how well you believe Jurgen? Sure, make an insight check.
I don't think I've got any bonuses. Yeah, that's 17 on the die. 17
17?
total.
You didn't sense any deception in her voice.
Okay.
Because that's
Senator
all you
Jurgen,
can go on is voice in,
sure,
in that, so.
of course. Senator Jurgen seemed to be sincere in indicating that
Of the
they had,
Fireforge clan?
of the Fireforge clan indeed, that at least as far as she's aware, their mages have not progressed enough with the Codex to do such a thing.
She kind of breaks eye contact with you as you get this. You can almost like see the wheels turning in her head as she's kind of like considering the information. She says, "This Jurgen Fireforge is young on the scene. We don't know much about her. What was your impression?"
She seemed very knowledgeable and capable, although it seemed like she deferred to what was his name?
Brutor.
Senator Brutor, when it came to leveraging the political levers and the senatorial meetings. But she seemed to know her business and be well informed.
And on an ethical level?
And that brings a memory back to me that I'm somewhat uncomfortable with. He seems to be willing to walk a fine line if it's beneficial to her people.
Not a
But not
flaw.
necessarily.
Not a flaw. I feel I can necessarily hold against her,
Of course.
as it's one we share.
And she did seem to, at least in that instance, tend to want to err on the side of not completely breaking the rules.
What instance was that?
There was and I'm literally fishing for words.
Well, how about this might help you? Make a deception check, because I know that's where we're going.
I don't know how much I'm necessarily. Yeah.
And based on this
well,
roll, you can figure out what your actual response to her question is.
Well, that's a natural 20.
Oh, all right. So you don't stumble over your words. And almost as if time slows down for you, Artanis, and you have time to calculate what you want to say. What is it that Artanis says when she inquires about this incident?
Maybe just don't admit that we just straight up assassinated that one guy.
Yeah. The negotiations that we made upon arriving back, or finalized upon arriving back from the halls, were in jeopardy because one of the senators potentially had been compromised by somebody with information who was being held by the visiting Empire agents. And while Senator Jurgen explicitly said she was not willing to break Dwarven law to endorse eliminating such a person, that person was not a problem when we finalized the treaty.
The queen just kind of nods her head and says, our intelligence tells us that you're expecting a visitor soon.
Yes, General. Oh my God, we've got so many. Ergaroth. General Ergaroth should be arriving shortly to inspect the island and evaluate it for more formal alliance or joining the Republic.
Eventually, once I've had time to work on my husband, I will ask you back to tell Rune to help me solidify things with this treaty of yours that you've been able to work out. This conversation needs to stay between the two of us, and in that I am including your companions on the island of Aspida.
Of course, anything that I can do to help ensure that Telrune and the world as a whole is protected from whatever is certainly going on immediately with these undead, but also for the future as well.
And I don't think I need to tell you how beneficial it would be for our efforts when you do eventually join me in Telrune, if you were to be successful in uniting and joining with the republics in the south.
Of course, more and stronger allies are...
It would give you the ability to speak on their behalf with some veracity in Thethelas.
Of course. I will do my best. As I'm sure we all will.
Well, before we go, there's something I want to show you.
Of course.
And she reaches to her belt, and you watch as she pulls out a wooden sword hilt with no blade.
I knew it.
One that you've seen for the second time now. As you recognize it instantly as one with a name. This is the Nodelvel, which in your tongue stands for the Moonblade. And as she activates this silvery blue lunar light curved scimitar-like blade extends from the hilt. And she begins to kind of look at your shocked face and or knowing face or whatever it is that is on Artanis's face and kind of give you like a little wry smile. As you know that the Sun King has the twin or partner blade to this, which is known as the Krithvel, which is the sun blade in your tongue. Or blade of the sun, blade of the moon, as she begins to show you a technique. You now, so long as you have your blade out and equipped in combat, you can use your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your AC against ranged attacks, as she shows you a way to deflect bolts and spears and arrows with the blade, or almost like you were reflecting blaster bolts.
That's awesome. I assume that lasts for one round?
Yes, it lasts. Well, it lasts against. It lasts until the start of your next turn. It requires your reaction, and it adds your proficiency bonus to your AC against specifically ranged attacks.
Sweet. I kind of watch her teaching and appreciate the skill with which she demonstrates, and replicate it myself, and then I bow my head and say, "Thank you for this gift."
She says, I have a feeling you'll need it, and I want to make sure you make it back to the island, because I'm going to need your help with all of this.
Of course.
This is not a small endeavor that you and I are embarking on.
And yet, as it's so important.
She also says, give Master Avelios time. He's distrustful of change and strongly believes in the chain of command of the Order.
Understood.
I think he's more upset with what he views as your brashness and skipping certain chains of command and acting outside of your orders and authority.
I can certainly understand that. He's, I know him to be a very good man. I just feel
Not
like
everyone has our same proclivity in understanding that. What is the dwarven saying?
more beer.
Crafting omelets requires broken eggs.
Exactly. I believe that's exactly it.
It's not even close. But it's extremely broken. Like it's like,
But it's fitting with my kind of broken,
yeah,
outdated understanding of Dwarven language.
indeed. With that, the communion finishes, and you're back in your study.
I head back down and assume I find Ossel getting a pedicure.
Yep, and Talklin.
I'm glad you took up my advice on making yourself comfortable, but it also sounds like the horde of undead may be heading south rather than north. Wake up!
Cool. Oh, sorry. Uh,
We should talk to the others.
today?
I mean, you feel free to enjoy yourself here, and I can go.
45 more minutes.
Fine. I've got some enchanting to work on anyway.
45 minutes goes by as you're finishing up the this is as good a time as any, as you're finishing up the plans for your big project, Artanis,
Okay.
which you and I will talk about after the session.
Sounds good.
But you finish making your diagrams and thesis notes, and hand them off to Aristotle to sort of like check your work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, I'm completely blanking on peer review. Peer review is the most important part of arcane study. And you and Ossel head back to the keep, where, for the sake of convenience, you find the rest of the party.
Ta-da!
So I have a bit of intel that the horde of undead may be heading south rather than towards either Ethmond or Telrune.
Sorry, which horde of undead?
The what?
Doesn't everybody already know about this?
No.
Ossel.
No, I went to go tell you because you could warn people. What the fuck are they gonna do?
Well, apparently there is a horde of undead that is made its way to the Rafael Timberlands and maybe
Wait.
now heading south.
Same as the fucking clanless I heard about?
Mm-hmm.
You compare notes and the time frame matches up.
Great.
Worst case scenario, they're obviously in league with each other and heading our way. Best case scenario, they're fighting each other.
I doubt that. The timing matches
would
up
make
too
us-
easily.
That would be far too convenient as well.
Well, at least that's one more notch on the Calcarius fucking working with the clanless then. Or at least Agrippa is.
That's what I would suspect.
I mean, but it's a horde of undead. I don't know much about the arcane magic, but wouldn't it take a lot of like arcane magic to control like a horde of undead? Also, how much is a horde? Is that like a butt ton?
Yes, slightly less than a butt ton. Yes, you're correct. That would take a significant amount of magic. Although we know that Agrippa both has proclivities towards undead and a significant amount of magic.
Where do you get the bodies?
I mean, it's the deadening wood. It's called the deadening wood for a reason.
I guess.
Also gets a gold star and a point of piety.
Oh,
Okay.
Piety star. That's
Oh, by the
an
way,
ethereal
Mel,
pipe. Go.
by the way, before I forget, in completing the monastery, you gain 5 points of piety.
oh fuck yeah.
An ethereal
Can't believe
pipe spawns out
yeah.
of nowhere.
That was supposed to happen at the beginning with all the other monastery stuff, but it's 80 degrees in my apartment, so.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what that's like.
And my radiator is emitting heat, so you know.
Same.
Gross. Absolutely.
Mm.
And who knows how many apprentices he has under his influence that could be helping him generate or control such a horde.
Exactly.
Well, one fewer now, at least.
I mean, I'll give props to Calcaria. Good on them for picking the allies they did. Because if they do come and attack us, they can't even write it off that it was them because it was undead and clanless. So they have no connection to it.
True. Would the clanless themselves have powerful wizards of their own?
Probably not. Clanless are usually coward scumbags that deserve to be dead, but by the grace of dwarven law was let go. So, I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but I don't know a lot of dwarves with super powerful magics.
Well, then we should probably consider what kind of defenses we may want to put into place for this.
Oh, good thing we got the early warning system by the docks. We have these. We have the constructed watchtowers, right, that are being manned by the.
Aspidon Rangers on the western
Yeah.
island.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't construct it on the main island at all.
No, there wasn't any constructed on the main island. They were specifically constructed on the western island to watch against a potential attack from Calcaria.
Clanless and the rest are probably going to be coming from the north, which means the tower is going to have a pretty good view. Assuming the undead don't just do a Pirates of the Caribbean and walk along the
Take a walk.
ocean floor. Yeah. But
What is the Caribbean?
Well,
it's a
clanless
play
people can do that.
from Telrune.
Sorry, I don't get it.
Actually, I believe your father wrote that one, right, Artanis?
I know it's one of my favorites.
That's why he does an epic accent.
Yeah, I love what your mother did with the set design, constructing like miniaturized ships for them to walk around on.
And the use of minor magics to generate storms. She's a genius at what she does.
Indeed.
Well, even if the undead could do such a thing, certainly the clanless can't. So at least if we see them coming, then we
If
should
they're
be on
coming
the
here,
alert.
then why'd they leave all their ships?
That's a good question. Something strange.
I mean, we're
Something's
also
very
assuming
strange.
it's living clanless. That's another thing. It could just be like a
Meaning
dead clanless.
the clanless could have been double crossed and added to the undead army.
It's a possibility. We really need like a spy in Golcaria.
Too bad Ismay's probably hidden or dead.
I
How
don't
much-
know that I trust her judgment enough to be able to gather information on this.
Fair. What were you going to say, Farah?
How much longer do we expect Calcaria to continue their revelry?
No. I mean, in story, it's kind of like unclear how long they're going to celebrate for, right?
Would we have any idea being like at war with them for such a long time?
It's you guys can make those who have dealt with the Empire militarily can make history checks. Technically, I guess that would be all of you.
$19.
19.
Also 19.
Also 19.
8.
8.
18.
18. All right. So Farah, Artanis, Mel. It's hard to pin down how long their Jubilee celebrations go on. They are generally celebrations that involve games, gladiatorial combat, sacrifices, and offerings to the gods for a successful campaign. It's kind of hard to determine when they're going to end because a lot of times it depends on many different things. It depends on who's the emperor at the moment. Is a big thing. Sometimes it depends on when their holy people see certain omens or divinations that it's time to end the celebrations and plan the next conquest. Other emperors in the history have been more practical about such things, and you even know that there was a couple hundred years ago an emperor that was famous for getting his clergy to placate the people, kind of like, oh yes, there was an omen, it's time to go invade wherever. So a lot of it depends on who the current emperor is at the time and what their proclivities are towards it. It's a period of time that has in the past lasted as short as months, and in other times has lasted years. So it's hard to say.
Something tells me this ain't gonna last years.
I don't know. Should we put a watch battalion at least at the northern part of the island? I guess where the mountain meets the sea.
Have a longship or two up there keeping watch for anything that might walk into the water.
Speaking of walking into the water, how far does the reach of our undersea friends go?
Far.
That might be something to talk to them about too.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It's a very good idea. Because Tocklin did say something about a story of them just walking into the Godsrun River, right? Just coming out the other side.
Yeah, he said that he heard from dwarven traders that were traveling up and down it, that they, at one of their campsites on the bank where they pulled over, they saw tracks going in one side in the mud and coming out the other side of what looked like a battalion mercenary company of some booted, some skeletal feet.
Great. Great.
Even if they walked across under the sea, I doubt that they would then climb over the mountains.
No, probably not. In that case, we'll probably be facing them on the plains near the, right next door to the dwarves came ashore. And near the temple. Okay, well,
Fuck.
Do we-
God damn it! Just
do we have any
Sorry.
idea on how long until they get here? Like, what's our best guess?
Um,
how long was Mel gone?
Mel was gone for at least a month, somewhere around a month total from the time she left to the time she got back was, a little over a month.
Yeah, I was there for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Like-
and it was like a week and a half travel there and a week and a half travel back. Yeah, so it was over a month, like a month and a half, approximately.
And did Mel hear these rumors on the way back or on the way there?
On the way back.
You know what? I'll go.
Could have warned people ahead of time, but nobody talked to me. Looking at Artanis.
All right, sorry.
I got caught up with my enchanting.
I'm being pulled in a lot of directions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck you for having magic. It would if you didn't have magic, we would have had to just do this all by ravens. I'm gonna go for a swim.
Bill, how much would it cost to upgrade the tower?
To upgrade the tower to
The wizard's
a level to add your personal wizard's tower, like your
tower?
branch off of it, that would be, excuse me,
How much is it to add a giant Tesla coil that kills specifically undead on the top of it?
80,000 platinum.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, maybe.
Affordable.
No, that's for the giant Tesla coil. But for the the initial cost is for the class specific keep improvements is 8,000 gold pieces and 90 days to construct.
Okay.
A bargain compared to the Tesla coil.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
was
That
nice.
is a platinum coated diamond Tesla coil. That's how.
No, it's 8,000 for the individual.
Oh, dope. Okay, well then we have 1,000 gold than I thought we did because I
There you
paid
go.
9 for the monastery.
It's 8.
Um,
And then to take it from, and then to upgrade either your keep, tower, or temple, which also upgrades your class-specific stuff. To go from first to second is 4,000, second to third is 6,000, third to fourth is 8,000, and fourth to fifth is 10,000. Each taking more and more days to construct.
and would I know whether upgrading it to the wizard's tower thing would give me the control weather ability that's listed in Strongholds and Followers?
You can certainly try and find out.
Yeah, if there's can I make a roll to try and find out?
No, I meant you can construct it and then
Oh,
find
I
out.
see. I see. Okay.
We don't have the money to build that.
Right. No, but it's if
Guys, we'll do a real quick, just smash and grab adventure. Go make some money. Come back. Maybe if you guys talk to Director Kava in Arafos, she can give you guys a loan.
Yeah, I'm thinking of. I have an idea for that, but
no, I'm just thinking that if it worked out such that we got that ability, controlling weather around the tower would certainly be a great way to deter ships from coming that way.
Quick trip over to Wildmount.
Anyway, nothing we can do about it right now. I don't know.
I'm gonna go see if I can do something about it right now. So also just unhooks all her shit. She undoes all of her belts. There's so many, and
All the
takes off
belts.
her quiver and smacks everything on the table, and she just starts charging towards the shallow water port.
Well,
all right, enjoy.
what happened? Oh shit.
Also gonna go talk to the water.
Okay. That makes sense.
Also, as you head into the water, and which boots do you have on?
Well, I'm not in combat, so I'm wearing my Sharky boots.
Your shark boots, which are working again.
Yeah, just started working the other day.
Yep. And I assume you're attuned to them. Yes.
I am.
Okay. So you go jetting through the water with your swim speed of 60, with your shark boots, and eventually kind of come to a spot under the water where you stop for a bit in and around this school of fish that begins to move and swim and take the shape of a face. As you hear a voice kind of warbly through under the water, though clear enough for you to hear, that says, "Don't take them off again."
I'll try, but the other ones are really nice.
Which god gave you those ones?
The one that gave me the strength to kill the fucker who had them.
You're welcome. And you will assume that that's what you sound like for the rest of the time, because
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
That. But he says,
You don't want to do underwater talking, Bill? You don't want to do it?
Yeah, no, I don't. But he says, well done on the island.
As you command. Your will, my hands. Well, Dommel's hands, mostly.
Your feet, hands.
Oh, yes, I did kill the...
And with that, the mouth of the school of fish face opens up and kind of like swallows you, and you accumulate 3 piety.
Oh, cool.
That worm has been a thorn in my side for a while now.
Yeah. That was a tough fight.
I knew you could handle it.
Well,
I
thank you.
I wouldn't have assigned you to it if I didn't think you could handle it.
can you tell me anything about the undead that are going to soil your waters sometime soon?
They haven't soiled my waters, though Aphrodite, whose domain is the coast and the rivers, they have soiled hers.
Good to know.
I've spoken to my brother about it. They are about his business. And as such, I cannot intercede. I also cannot tell you about the axe-wielding warrior in dark armor that leads the clanless, or the pale-skinned woman in black robes who commands the undead. I can't tell you about those.
I told you guys, Poseidon is the coolest fucking god. You guys can all eat multiple dicks. Of course not. That would be a travesty and a betrayal of your uninterference with us mortals.
Indeed, and I cannot do that. I'm sure you'll disregard that information.
Already forgot about it. I suck at history.
Indeed. Anyway, I think you have some time.
We'll make the most of it.
I also cannot make sure that my children, the Triton, keep an eye out for them. They're also not under divine command to slay any undead that travels through my domain. And I also told them that they should not warn you if they find any significant force of undead traveling through my domain.
This is the best opposite day.
And I would never ask such things. A mere mortal's words would be fall on deaf ears if I were to ask for that.
Indeed. As so commanded by my brother Zeus, king of the gods. I must go now. There is an underground volcano in one of the seas that needs to erupt, and I have to, oversee that. So, excuse me. And the school of fish kind of like disperses and goes off into the water.
Also, just like exhales a big sigh of relief, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna drown because I just did that. That is dope." I shoot as fast as I can out of the water like a fucking dolphin. I go because nobody's around, and then I David Hasselhoff in the SpongeBob movie. I just make a straight plane and just shoot towards the coast.
Also, while Osel is doing that, just looking at the rest of the group. Oh, by the way, we have a Telrune ambassador up at the monastery, so you know.
What? What? What's their name?
Say her name because she doesn't have a sheet yet, as far as I know.
Arlena Warandi.
Arlena Warandi. Warandi?
It was not even close.
It was close.
She's not gonna have a token She's literally only gonna ever exist if you choose to go and speak to her.
Mm. Schrodinger's.
She is
elf.
a mechanical benefit NPC.
Mm.
Schrodinger's bureaucrat.
Yeah. But eventually a dripping wet Ossel comes stomping back into the council chambers.
You're getting water all over the floor.
I spit a mouthful of water that I've carried all the way from the docks to here, specifically for this moment, and I go,
Damn, that's salty.
sorry.
I prestidigitated away.
Don't you dare, do you fuck.
We cut back to the spot where Ossel had sucked it in, and we watch as there's this little underwater, this little poof of like as it's returned to. It's...
No, prestidigitation needs to go to like a. Never mind. I reveal everything, but mostly I just gloat that my god is way cooler than all the other gods. So Poseidon couldn't tell me anything, but yada yada yada. Dark armored warrior, axe wielders, evil woman. We have time to prepare, and we should make a point of that. Also, it's probably gonna happen like within the next season or two, where the fucking Olgaroth is gonna show up, and it's either gonna be humiliating us, or whether or not we fail or not. So it also might be a boon.
Just gonna muse a bit and twirl her coin. Like, well, I guess it's really good fortune for us that we have someone with that god on their side.
We do indeed. We do indeed.
Lucky indeed.
You know, he's gonna fucking bury this island like Atlantis if you fucking keep talking shit about Poseidon.
Who's talking shit? I said we were lucky.
Yeah. I see everything. Squint at Mel.
Do you know why kids like Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Well, can we hire some clerics maybe to be on guard for dealing with undead?
What are clergymen gonna do against undead?
Oh, kind of. Remember the one that helped us back.
The mother?
Marelos.
Yeah.
Whose name I'm going back to look for?
Should be in your NPC list.
Oh, it started with an O.
Orla.
Orla.
I was undead?
Wait a second. Oh yeah, there we go.
Is that the one Artanis died?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And she was the one who revived him.
Yeah, let's just ask her for another favor. That'll be good. Good on us.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh, that's true. You are not the only one.
What?
You
To
died.
die.
Oh.
Fowler is a very powerful wizard.
I am also a very powerful.
That's why she's shit with the hammer, is because she's supposed to be casting magic.
I'm out.
Maybe next character we should make a character that's just shite at everything, so that way it fits your role.
Oh fuck!
Just make them like a bumbling
Damn.
Treasure bard.
tragedy bard. But anyway,
That's me. I'm the tragedy bard, just in real life.
all of this information takes place over the course of the month of July. It's not all in one day. These are conversations that kind of take place in that time. Again, I hand the time control stick over to you guys. How much time would you like to elapse, and what kind of things would you like to try and do in that time?
If the marketplace is up and running, I would like to
Marketplace
secure
and guild halls, trade guild halls.
then I would like to get some more jars.
You can certainly commission the glass making guild to craft preservation jars for you. I have to hold
They're
on a
not
second.
clay?
For preservation jars, you need that good glass, that sweet glass. I lent
Otherwise,
my
how
physical
can you
copy.
see the beautiful eyeballs floating in the jar if it's made out of clay?
Yeah, God.
Yeah, what kind of stupid question is that? I lent Lindsay my physical player's handbook and Xanathar's guide to look at for thinking about her one-shot character, and so I have to pull up my my what do you call it? PDF. Where are they?
Literally why beer in clear glass bottles goes skunky first, because it gets exposed to sunlight.
Shut up.
Mhm.
This is Hollywood magic. We do stuff because it looks good, not because it works in the physical world.
Yes, the magic jars that preserve things are the same as clear glass beer bottles.
Hell yeah, baby.
Where the frick? It's literally on the... I'm just forgetting what it's... I'm sorry, just give me a minute.
No worries.
Bottle, glass, 2 gold pieces.
Thank you. 2 gold pieces. So, but to include the sealing wax, it is 2.5 gold pieces per jar.
$150 for future reference.
I was on the page. I just couldn't find it in that chart for some reason.
Donal, I need 50 gold.
You better start selling some of the refrigeration boxes soon, then.
As soon as I can.
There, have 50 gold.
We'll get 20 jars.
You have 20 new preservation jars at the end of the month of July. What else would you like to do? All of you.
I mean, I'll put up
And
the
how
notice.
much time would you like to pass? Like, what are you aiming for? Like, you guys just like aiming for like this time jump going to be when the general arrives in October, or before that, or? You guys can talk it out. Like, if you have stuff that you want to do that takes time. Yeah.
I think the period at the end of this discussion should be, yes, and General Orgulroth rocks up to our shores after being escorted in by 2 triremes to assert dominance.
I mean, 2 triremes that he sold us, but yes.
The fuck does that? You're being a real pomegranate right now.
I hate that you named those things after me so much.
I didn't.
Take it as a compliment.
No! They taste terrible!
Yeah, they're sour, they're bitter.
Exactly!
Talklin speaks up and says, "I move that the Domegranate be named the official fruit of Aspida."
I vote aye.
I vote nay.
Wow, I didn't think that was actually going to work. He said that you guys would start voting on it, but sweet.
Yeah, fuck. Go
How
ahead.
does Artanis vote?
Oh, I'm totally voting aye.
Mel?
Fuck you.
Just I mean, on one hand, yes, but on the other hand, do we want to be known for like our bitter sourness?
Yes. It's a unique delicacy. It'll become an acquired taste.
Like garum or anchovies.
All right, when are you going to turn it into alcohol? Looking at it, hostile.
I will try.
So one of you bangs the gavel hammer on the table and says,
It is so.
It is. One of you turns to the scribe and says, "Write a proclamation from this day henceforth on the whatever day of July in the year 5 something of the Second Age. The official fruit of Aspida will be the Domegranate."
So we've
And Fiven furiously takes down the proclamation and adds it to his list of town crier responsibilities later.
we've banned a haircut and we've created a fruit. There's
And we're gonna be known for the refrigerator. So like,
oh, yeah. No, the bag of colding.
well, it's not a bag.
Okay, a box of colding.
Well,
Refrigerator.
Just came up with idiots to name it.
The original thesis project was a bag of colding, a satchel of colding, or no, a chest. I'm sorry, a chest of colding. So,
You guys are
is
shit
that
at naming
what
things.
Artanis is concentrating on? Trying to see how many of those he can finish over the course of until the general arrives.
Yeah, that and the other big project.
So the only material costs for you would be the crates or the chests, which would be equivalent to, because you need to pay the woodworkers and like chest crafters guild in the marketplace to make them for you to enchant. So I believe a chest is 5 gold pieces.
Donal, I need some gold.
Just remember 300% markup minimum. And I'm gonna see about getting you some more people. Or I'm gonna see about getting you some more people for this.
We smash cut to Dommel as voiced by Laura Bailey playing Vex. You bitches keep spending money. As the treasurer.
I do want to, at some point, at our breakfast of champions, put us in the non-detection bubble and tell the group about my conversation with the queen.
Okay.
The one she told you not to tell us about?
Yep.
No, she said that she included the group, right?
No, she said do
No,
not tell them.
excluded the
She said tell no one, including your group.
Including
Meaning
the group.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought she meant,
included in no one being told would be. She's like, don't tell anyone, including your comrades.
Okay, I thought you said this stays between us, including your group.
Yeah,
So
it stays between us, meaning in addition, there's not an exception for your compatriots.
Okay.
So Artanis comes to all of us. He goes, all right, and he sets up the ritual, and then it all goes on.
No, never mind. I misunderstood out of character.
My apologies. I was unclear. So it's each chest is 3 square feet. And it's a day of enchanting per square foot of the object. Both you, Aristotle, and your one not retainer, but your one. Where is she? Brienne.
Mm-hmm.
You can all. I'm assuming you teach it to her. So the three of you are the only three people on Aspida that can craft this enchantment. But
so is it each person can craft 1 square foot a day? So
yes.
in other words, we can make 1 chest per day.
So if you all concentrate and work together on a single chest, you can crank out 1 chest per day, or you can do it each your own separately, and it's 1 chest in 3 days.
Cool.
So
we will definitely be working on that daily while the calendar turns.
I'm factoring in you having other responsibilities and duties, and that you're not dedicating just your day to just that, as you have many responsibilities. I'm calculating that into the time frame stuff. So depending on how many chests you want to buy and how much time you want to dedicate to it, that is entirely up to you.
Well, we'll definitely be doing it daily while the clock ticks.
All right.
Tennis, just letting you know, like, I'm also proficient in brewing supplies, so I believe that's cask making, Bill?
It is.
Okay, so just throwing it out there. Not saying anything, just a thought.
Also, if you wouldn't mind helping making some caskets for us, that would be casks.
Some what?
I'll make some caskets as well.
That escalated quickly.
Wow.
Like, we know that you keep things cold, and we know that you like body parts, but come on now, that's getting a little bit too dark.
That just came up with an idea of preserving bodies to transport back to homeland.
A cask or barrel, much less expensive, 2 gold pieces. However, 5 square feet of space to enchant.
Cool.
And if Ossel's making them, she can make 1 a day at no cost, because she can just go grab some wood supplies from your lumber mill and construct them with her skill set.
Let me do my supply chain math.
Yep, there you go. While you're doing that, what's everybody else up to? Other than the obvious, doing your usual daily routines of seeing to your duties, training your soldiers, Farah, setting up your little, maybe not daily, but not annual, but like regular, like town halls, Donald, we'll call them, as opposed to you setting up a desk in town.
I mean, I figure eventually we'll get like a little building set up that's basically the Ministry of Trade.
Well, it's at the keep, essentially. People can come to the keep and petition their rulers, just like any other place. You have petitioners that line up regularly. You can see as many of them in a day as you want, or you can set up a thing where there's proclamations that go out that say every other Tuesday or whatever, however often you do it. But other than your obvious duties and responsibilities, is there any extra stuff that you guys are looking to accomplish in these couple of months before the general arrives? I know Artanis is busy with stuff. What's everybody else?
I at least want to make, as quickly as possible, make sure that Pick and, damn it.
Arlania?
Yeah, Arlania meet and...
Oh yeah, Pick met her before you did.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Okay, right.
Because you go to find her one day and she's like, I need to introduce you to Pick. And she's like, we've been working together for like a week already. It's cool.
There.
Pick is extremely competent.
Yes, he is. He's extremely motivated as well. He's kind of... Make an insight check, Mel.
19.
19. You get the sense that Pick is working to a point of, I wouldn't say obsession, but he's certainly kind of like thrown himself into his work to distract himself from other things that may be going on in his brain.
Yeah.
You can do with that what you will.
Yeah, definitely going to ask him about that.
Do you approach him?
Yeah.
All right. You catch him on a day where, as you come walking up, he says, so we've successfully plotted every dwarven citizen that's influxed to the island. They're all plotted out, and the last of their domiciles are being constructed. And he kind of takes his good list and then flips over to his bad list and starts going to the normal list or whatever, and starts going into stuff.
Hey.
Did you have a question about one of the...
Don't know yet, but are you okay?
Well, I mean, I'd be a lot better if we could shore up the... I mean, Farrah's doing a great job, but we could tighten up the guard rotations on the Western Island a little bit better, and I would love it if some of these Elven agents would return. I know at least one of them was headed up into the Rafael Timberlands to bring. Hopefully, they could bring back some information. But
so, are you just stressing about all that, or is there something else going on that I should know about?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Maybe I'm still not used to the whole, like, understanding how people are thinking in their heads, but you look like you're distracting yourself from something. And it's kind of obvious if I notice it.
I mean, I've always been a bit of a workaholic, but
That I noticed.
Concentrating on this allows me to not think about Al-Rawam.
Oh.
And the ones who couldn't make it out in time because they didn't have more.
Yeah. And I get that. Really.
Because maybe if I checked in with one more informant or spent one more night on that stakeout in the land bridge jungle, I might have caught that piece of information that stopped it, or at least gave them more time to head north, get out of the city.
I get that. I get that feeling a lot. I have the same problem sometimes. Thinking if I could handle my own shit just a little bit better, I would still be there and been able to help out, but that's not how the world works. And that's a self-destructive way to handle shit.
How do you handle it?
That's a good question. Don't know if I am yet.
You hear a voice in your head that says, "You don't."
Yeah. Just like looking up for a second as if like, yeah, I get that.
But we're working on it.
It takes time. I haven't
Keep
figured out
going
my
with
shit.
that.
No, she's saying, she's actually saying this to Pick, not in her head.
Yeah.
It's not something you get over immediately. Who knows when the hell we get over it, if we ever do, but... We can't live in that kind of past. The rest of the world isn't going to wait for us.
Yeah, no. You're right. I guess I allowed it to be more than just motivation and become a bit of an obsession, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure I go spend a night at the Sunset Deck. But until then...
More than just a night.
He goes, I hear that philosopher guy up at the tower is giving out like spa treatments or something. So,
Really?
but he starts going into more of the reports, which are mostly not a lot of stuff that's super jumping out at you as super important. But at a certain point in the month, you've noticed that more and more people from Aspida are spending more and more time at the monastery. And Krios kind of comes into your mind and says, you know, these people keep coming here. They're probably looking for instruction.
Mm. Oh. Am I even ready for that? I'm still learning.
And you never will stop, at least I hope.
Yeah.
You'll learn as much from them as you'll teach them.
Right.
And besides, we had a deal. We need to make sure that these teachings and this form doesn't disappear from Aegion.
Yeah, we have a deal. It's gonna be really awkward if the master from the fire temple up there comes in doesn't have a teacher. Fine, all right.
Exactly.
And I guess that's the next step while we have some time. Maybe it'll help us get ready for whatever the fuck's going to happen up in the Timberlands.
I have a bad feeling about it.
Oh, no shit.
Well, for more than the usual reasons. Or the obvious reasons, I guess I should say.
Another, vision?
Not necessarily, just examination of memories, yours and mine. Ones that we've shared, I'm not probing. Unless you want to give me permission, but no, it's just, I don't know. I was looking into your encounter with Agrippa on the boat all those years ago, or all that time ago now. Not years, but
yeah. Not my most, not my smartest moment, but I'd still fucking do it again.
I can appreciate that. I don't know, there's something familiar about him.
You've been pretty quiet after that thing we had at the temple. Have to do with that?
Maybe. I'm not sure how, though. Those memories are from centuries ago.
wouldn't be the strangest shit we've seen.
Fair enough, but it'd be up there.
Yeah, probably. Well, if you're having a feeling it's something we might at least put some thought into, try to figure it out.
I don't know. Maybe he learned it from a similar school of arcane practicing.
Well, even the elves are fucking surprised that they know magic that should be outside of their scope for their lifespans.
I don't know. Us humans are we're pretty good at standing on the shoulders of previous generations.
I don't know anything about that, but yeah. We'll see what we can find out.
Something to think about.
Otherwise, they're with the conversation with Pick. Just gonna say, you're doing good work here, but just be sure to know that you have plenty of people from back home that you're helping them out a lot. Focus on that as best you can.
Thanks. Becomes routine after a while, but it's nice to be reminded.
I'm one of them. I'd probably be drowning right now. This is all a lot.
That's true. But
that was fast.
Thanks you, and he thanks you, and kind of gives you like a warm facial recognition, and heads off into the deeper end of the monastery. As you can see, off to one side there is a group of about half a dozen individuals, a mix of individuals from the town, who are examining the much more clearly laid out forms and designs that were on the ruins, that are much more clearly laid out, and some of them are trying to like copy the poses and move and decipher them.
I'm just gonna, as they're going up to it, and just say, let me see how to phrase this. She does people on about it. She's like, "Hey, training starts next week," and then just keep walking.
And they all start talking. It's like, ooh, the super aloof Sifu with their wise, with their short sentences. There's wisdom in the silence and the thing they walked away. And you hear Krios say, "See, it's really easy. They're not hard to impress."
I don't know whether that's a good thing or not.
The ones who figure it out, they're the ones that you know are your more proficient students. And can get to a point where they can start educating more novice practitioners.
The shitty ones are the ones we'll remember the names of. That's how it goes.
She chuckles. As you continue to take your tour of the newly finished monastery. Are you done your math, Artanis?
Working on it.
Oh, still going.
It's
a lot of math. It's a lot of math. What's Ossel and Farah up to? And Donald?
I was going to invite Farah to my thing, if Farah doesn't have anything.
What's your thing?
Yeah, what's your thing?
We're gonna go now that we can actually have a stable for them. We're gonna go get those fucking griffins.
Oh, hell yes. 1,000,000%.
You can't smash them. They're still birds.
Well, apparently, according to you, I'm not good at smashing things anymore.
Oh.
They're not actually just birds. They're also part nature spirit. Don't kill any of them.
Okay.
Hey, we're just gonna kill a few to assert dominance.
Don't kill any of them.
Damn.
No, you don't control me. If a griffin needs to die so we can get a bunch of them, they're gonna die.
I've worked with animals before. It will be fine.
Apparently they're not animals. You can't speak to them. I tried.
Wait, what?
I can speak to animals.
Then?
All right. So.
All right. I think I've got my map done.
Okay.
So if Ossel's going to make 15 casks, and if we're going to be doing this for basically 60 days straight, then that's 15 5-square-foot
Casks.
colding.
Casks of colding.
Yeah, and 45 3-square-foot crates of colding.
COCs, cocks.
Oh god.
No, I'm bringing the wood to this game. Kegerator! It's so easy!
We're now rejecting refrigerator for cock.
I disagree.
I vote against it as well.
You named the fucking Domegranate the official fruit of this island. This is my revenge.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
COC.
There's a lot of fruits on this island, so.
Kegerator. Think about it.
And I think we will price them at 150 gold per square foot to the general public and 125 if we get into the Republic and the Republic governments want to buy them.
Righty. Excuse me. So you're spending your time doing that. Does anybody else, Donald, do you want to go with Ossel and Farah to capture some griffins to bring back to your stable?
No, I have other things to do.
Yeah, and I didn't invite Dummel. He's shit at most things,
right,
especially being strong and holding down large birds.
So it's going to be...
Right, well,
I'm going to tell you right...
Zoran if you see him down there.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a skill challenge, best of 7, so you're probably going to want to bring at least one other person with you.
Oh god. Amazing.
So there's Ossel and Farah. I would recommend, you don't have to, you can try and do it just the two of you with the usual extended skill challenge mechanics that we use.
Sounds like the guidance people are tied up.
Since he laughed at us, we have to do it out of spite.
What about the retainers? Can the retainers, do they count?
Sure. You can bring retainers.
So just bring Tocklin.
Sure. Tocklin. Fivin.
Sure, we could bring Fivin.
There you go.
Is he
all right.
done proclamizing in the square?
He's like, it's not a daily responsibility. I mean, my adoring public clamors for me, so I shouldn't be gone for long, but...
Imagine the story you could tell of Farah, the master of winged beasts.
Why do you think I'm here? Do you know how happy Nike would be, Farah, if you were to be like winged Nike, riding? I mean, come on, it really kind of writes itself.
The song just writes itself.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even have to try. It would be one of my easiest hits.
Go. Let's do it.
So the two of you, the four of you, I should say, head off through the southern woods into the southern mountains. For Farah, who I don't know who has been around for one of my skill challenges before, the way the mechanics work is that any skill that you're proficient in, you can try and pitch me as how you're going to use that skill in order to work your way towards success. It's going to be out of 7, so you essentially have to get to 4 successes before you get to 4 failures. Based on how you tell me you're going to use a certain skill, and based on how I will set the DC based on how you tell me you're going to use it, based on how ridiculous I think that your pitch is.
Okay.
You cannot use you specifically cannot use the same skill twice.
It's a working title.
You can use a skill that one of your compatriots has used if you're both proficient in it. But you cannot use the same skill. So if you used animal handling once, you can't use it again in the skill challenge.
Got it. But someone else could use it.
Someone else could, yes. And lastly, if you have any like spells or stuff that buffs or gives you advantage or bonuses to any skill checks, you can absolutely use them.
Yeah, I got tons of spells.
Some people in your party do, and other abilities. Who would like to go first?
I think we should sneak up first and try to get a lay of where, like, the group is thin a little bit. Maybe we're trying to find elder griffins, but I'm looking for, Axebeak, the big motherfucker. Yeah, I'm looking for Scarface.
Yeah.
Who will be named Tony Montana after I catch him.
Yes.
That sounds like a really great idea. I'm really shit at that.
Cool. We both don't have to do this the skill challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stealth and try to observe them
and then
try
come
to
back. Yeah. All right, you go ahead and make a stealth check. The DC for which is going to be 15.
Just got to get a 10. 14 plus 5, so 19.
19, that is 1 success. As you sneak up over the ridge to a place that you've been previously, as you've scouted it out before, as you look around, it doesn't look like much has changed. The population of griffins here is so large that you could easily go about the task that you kind of came up here with of sort of like grabbing ones on the outskirts and sort of like subduing them and then bringing them back to your little base camp as you have like a few dozen soldiers with you, either from the Marines or the Rangers. Probably would want to bring Rangers as they're better with the range stuff, and these are flying creatures.
Yeah.
But it's good for their training that they're undergoing right now too, with practicing with bows and stuff, as opposed to melee, specifically just melee combat. And you sneak up and think that your plan should go according to plan. Who would like to go next?
I could just straight up try to wrestle one of them and just like hog tie it.
Yeah.
Straight up, I'm just not good at anything. I could go over there and like that one there, that one's not that big. I could go there.
Totally. So you just kind of poke around and you're like, yeah, the plan. Like I said, we'll just kind of grab ones on the outskirts and then drag them away. And Farrah's like, I got this. She grabs some rope and sort of walks out. It's like that scene from Avatar where he's going to pick his like pterodactyl to fly for the first time in the James Cameron movie. And you kind of walk out there and kind of isolate one that kind of squares off with you. Go ahead and make an athletics check. The DC for which is, I'm going to say, is going to be 17.
Great. Awesome.
They're hollow bone birds. You got this.
You have a very high athletics.
I have a very high athletics. Aha! Yes, 27.
27, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You just fully like rodeo hog calf tie of this griffin, and just like in a show of ridiculous showboaty strength, just kind of like sling it over your shoulder, this large beast, and walk it back to the camp. And you're like, see guys, that's how you do it. Got one. As that starts this process, as you guys have a great day of gathering griffin mounts. That's 2 successes, 0 failures thus far. Who would like to go next?
I'm gonna see if I could lend the range around us. Like I want to do that thing in 300 where I back myself into like a crack in the wall as a griffin is kind of squaring off at me, and like when the wolf jumps at whatever the fuck Leonidas, and just kind of he gets trapped, and I'm like, fuck, got him, like, and just net his ass.
Nice.
I'm just showing if I could find somewhere in the environment that'll lend me like an advantage on catching.
What skill would you like to pitch for this?
I would like to pitch nature.
Nature? I will allow it. The DC is going to be a little bit higher. It's not
That's fine.
as easy. We're going to call it we'll call that a 17 as well.
Okay. No, that's a 9.
That is a 9.
Failure.
That is a failure. As a matter of fact, you misgauge the girth of this griffin, as it is able to slip past the area that was what you thought was too narrow for it, and you get a nice little griffin slash scar above through your old scar. So it kind of has like the horizontal, and now there's a little bit of the vertical scar, and now there's a little bit of a horizontal scar to it as well. But that is your first failure. So you have 2 successes, 1 failure. Farah?
All right. I could try to just, make friends with one of the ones that we have caught. But I don't know if that's a better idea than trying to scare one of them into submission. So am I going to be friendly to these things, or am I going to be less friendly?
They all, much like most things, all have different personalities. So maybe they'll depend. It will all depend on which one you choose and how well you roll.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna try. If you'll let me, I'll try to intimidate.
You're going to try and intimidate one into coming back with you? All right,
Mm-hmm.
So this one's going to be a little bit harder. I'm going to call this one an 18
Awesome.
DC. So go ahead and make your intimidation check.
No, that's an 8.
That's an 8. So you walk up to one that you're like, this one probably needs a firm hand, and you just start, hey, get over here. And it walks up and just fully like mule kicks you in the chest as it jumps off the cliff and takes off.
It's about right. Sounds
as you're just kind of laying there, like trying to catch your breath. So that is 2 successes, 2 failures, all tied up. Back over to Ossel and Tocklin. Team Ossel and Tocklin.
I'm trying to remember what Tocklin's fucking skills are. I'm scrolling back to find it. I know he's got that thing where he could just fucking like wrap people up. He's got his what is it? The binding strike, whatever the fuck it's called. Fuck. No, that's fine. All right, since we're having a little bit of a rougher day, I am going to start setting like snare traps and net traps and all kinds of shit around, and I'm just trying to passively catch these things. Just I'm I'm like, going up front, probably not the best idea right now. There's a big bunch of strings for one, so I'm going to try to survival my way through this and set a bunch of net traps and shit.
Is something that you have access in abundance to on an island like this with the amount of fishing that is done. So what skill? I think I know where you're going with survival. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to say make a DC 15 survival check because I feel like this is a good strategy for you.
22.
22, yeah. This works like gangbusters. In a couple of days, you're able to capture more than you have the first like couple weeks that you're here doing this. That is indeed his stats, yes. So his skills are insight and religion are his two best, his two proficient skills.
I start praying to the bird god.
But that is 3 successes, 2 failures. You only need 1 more success as we pop back over to Team Farah and Fiven.
Fiven's gonna try to be a Pied Piper and
make a performance check.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is going to be DC.
It's gonna be hard.
It's going to be a DC 18 for sure. He does have a +6 to this though.
Okay, here
so
goes.
12 or higher. You need on the die.
Oh.
10 on the die. He pulls out his flute for this, thinking to try and mimic some of their natural sounds, and it backfires horribly. And you watch as Fiven kind of comes back to the camp at the end of the day and looks like he spent the day in a room with a bunch of angry cats. Just scratches all over his face.
Tough crowd.
You are down to 3 successes, 3 failures. It all comes down to this one check. As only one of you can make it, the other one can assist to give advantage. But what skill would you like to use, and how would you like to use it, and who's going to do it?
I think I'm going to try to use athletics, and we will tackle Tony Montana, and me and Farah are going to double team this motherfucker.
Nice. All right, so the DC is going to be 17, just like the last athletics check. However, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's going to bump it up to an 18 because it is the alpha, the old Scarface, as voiced by Jeremy Irons.
I'm having Ballette's flashbacks.
Yeah, right. So the DC is 18. You do have advantage because Farah is assisting you with your athletics check. Would you have a plus what to?
I have a +6.
+6. So you need a 12 or higher on the die with advantage. Here we go.
First one's a 7. Second one's a 17.
Yay!
That is 4 successes. After a month away doing this, you guys return to the stables, and everyone in the party now, and if you ever decide to upgrade or change a unit to flying cavalry, you have access to enough griffins, and everyone in the party has access to griffins to ride as mounts should they wish.
Woo!
Nice. Hell yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
You can also, if you would like, try to armor them mechanically, because I knew this might be an issue. A griffin wearing light armor or no armor can at most carry 2 medium creatures without losing speed. If they are wearing medium armor, they can carry 1 medium-sized creature without losing speed. And if they are wearing heavy armor, they can carry 1 medium-sized creature at half speed, or they can carry a small-sized creature without a reduction in speed.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That is awesome.
Donald thought we couldn't do it.
Yeah. Fuck Donald. Fuck him.
Barding for these creatures is the same as it would be for like a large-sized horse. So it's just, if you look in the armor section of the PHB, it would just be 4 times the materials and cost for barding armor of whatever type.
You laugh at these griffins. No, now he's not allowed to have one. That's it. He could turn into a fucking bird if he wants.
You know I can do that, right?
I'm talking shit about you to Farah and just Farah.
Okay.
As you guys are walking back,
This is a bonding moment that we spent a month together. I'm probably not going to shit on Farah as much now after.
Yeah, you guys spent a month together wrangling griffins, and you bring them back to the stables. Your stable masters are able to break them for riding and domesticate them, and now you have a steady supply of griffins as these ones can breed and produce more griffins for you. Excellent.
I give Farah a big hug after the journey is done.
I give her a big hug back. Getting used to this whole hugging thing.
I don't really like contact, but I felt like this was earned. You did well.
You weren't that bad. And see,
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
good
take
at
that as a
I'm good at a couple of things. Hitting things, not so much apparently, but I can do that. Although I was pretty good at hitting things when I was hitting you.
Well, you just need tinier targets, and anything that's below your eye line, you're proficient at. Just think big things, just sure.
Duly noted.
I'm going to go gloat to Dommel, and I'm gonna try to figure out how much a griffin egg is.
Jesus Christ.
I do not have a monetary value for griffin eggs.
Do they lay eggs or?
No, as their bottom half is mammalian, they actually give birth.
They give birth to an egg.
Yes.
Yeah.
That instantly hatches and becomes a griffin.
The griffins are obviously Pokemon logic. This is how this works.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. So with that done, your stables are full of giant boars, giant goats, giant lizards, and now griffins as well as normal mounts like horses and stuff. But who would want to ride those when you can have those other cool things? And with your stable master able to help with the crafting of barding armor and saddles and everything, you guys are good to go. We'll say this kind of timey-wimey brings us to the end of July and we're into August. Artanis is still all speed ahead on his cock enchanting.
No.
Making sure that he gets all of his cocks enchanted.
You know what's the worst is that the barrels need to have their secure band around it. So technically, that's the cock ring.
Yes.
Yeah, that I gotta order from I gotta order a bunch of.
I need an adult.
For some reason, one of the things has to be like super intricate, so it looks like it has like a little gem in it that may or may not have some weird Tarrasque type creature.
Yep.
It all goes full circle, guys.
Oh my god.
Indeed. A miniaturized Tarrasque inside of a gem. That's the stopper for one of the cocks. A plug, if you will.
Yeah, you have to use a specific thing to like get all the stuff inside of the cask. You have to use like a caulking gun. That's
exactly. Rest of the night, guys. Rest of the session. As it is getting super hot, the crops are fully in bloom. Those of you who go out and tour the farmlands, the dwarves crop is actually coming in rather well. the enrichment that you've been doing to the soil, Donald, has not gone unnoticed, as the yield is quite impressive for your first big growing season.
Excellent.
Including for the dwarven contingent, a little bit closer to the. Theirs is much more diversified, as they're all trying to learn very different crop growing standards and techniques. That's the word I was looking for. But you have a feeling that this is one of those things that's going to benefit you when you make your yearly economy roll to see how that's going to go. By the way, the mechanics for that, when the new year comes around, you guys will roll a D20, which will be modified by the things that you've done to improve your chances for this over the course of the year. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you're going to roll a D100 times 100, and that's how much money you lose that year.
Mm.
If you roll a 3 or 4, it's going to be a D100 times 75, and that's how much you lose. If you roll a 5 or 6, it's a D100 times 50 that you lose. 7 or 8 is a D100 times 25, and a 9 or 10 is just a D100 times 0 amount of money that you lose. An 11 or 12 is a D100 in the positive amount of money you make. A 13 or 14 is a D100 times 25. 15 or 16 is a D100 times 50. 17 or 18 is a D100 times 75. And a 19 or dirty 20 is a D100 times 100 money that you make. If you roll a natural 20, you get to roll a D100 times 100 twice.
Ooh.
And that's how much money you make from your marketplace.
Wonderful. Okay.
I see Artanis is like more stressed over the fact that you guys are low on money and could go into bankruptcy on a bad roll.
Hopefully our modifier is not dog shit at this point.
It's looking pretty good for you at the moment, I'm not going to lie. Buying all those ships, influx of population, concentrating on infrastructure, all of these things have given you a pretty good bonus.
Alrighty.
As the month of August rolls around,
I have things I'd like to do.
You have things you'd like to do?
I
didn't doubt it. I didn't doubt it for a moment, Donald. Don't you worry.
If there's anything else other people would like to do, go ahead. But I do have things I would like to do.
Let's get into it. I feel like everybody's pretty much accomplished what they were looking to accomplish. So
okay. So 2 of our Elven agents are back from the last chat we had, right?
2 of them are back. Yes.
Okay. I want to put 1 to work on the island, like hunting up to see if Calcaria drops any more totally legit just asking questions people on our island again to stir up any more bullshit and or light any more shops on fire.
So you essentially want to keep them on the island as doing counter.
I want to keep 1 of them on the island.
One of the
essentially doing
island.
counterintelligence.
Counterintelligence, got you. Essentially, trying to make connections with traders, see if they're, trying essentially undercover, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Gotcha.
And I would like to, I don't know if this is totally in their skill set. I would like to send 1 north to get like a better count or estimate or arrival estimate of our
guests,
incoming guests. Yeah.
That is right in the middle of these guys' skill sets. Like that's exactly what their skill sets are: is reconnaissance and intelligence gathering and counterintelligence.
The proclamation about magic users that I talked to you about last time as well. Do we get anybody coming in for that? did we not put it out?
If you want to say you put it out earlier, you certainly.
Yes, specifically hoping like priority to anybody who's
if you remember, I was going to tell you that the way you worded it was going to mean a lot. So I think you were planning on how you were going to do that. So we can go over that now. How exactly do you word this and introduce this idea to the public?
What the fuck's the formal name of our country, guys? I'm drawing
Aspida?
a blank. The
Aspida?
what of Aspida? The Republic?
Oh.
The Republic of Aspida is looking for any people who are skilled in the uses.
I mean, that's
a fucking republic.
None of you.
We are a religious oligarchy at best.
Yeah,
well,
you are a theocratic oligarchy. I'm sorry to tell you.
I can't declare us as the theocratic oligarchy of Aspida.
You can
yes, you can.
You literally just that's a sentence that you could literally say.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Because here's what's up. You can declare yourself as whatever you want, because the official title of the government of North Korea is the People's Democratic Republic of North Korea.
Oh, I fucking know.
That is true.
So, like, not for nothing, you can call yourselves Democracy of Aspida if you want.
Unless anybody has any preferences, I think we're calling ourselves the Republic for now.
Sure.
Just say the island of Aspida.
Island nation.
Sure.
Island nation.
Whatever.
Yes.
The
there we
island
go.
nation, the island of Aspida is looking for any people with skills in magic to help with ongoing efforts to improve both the quality of life on both the island and in the surrounding republics through the use of magic and enchantment. We are also offering, and I'm going to kind of speak for you, Artanis, I'm sorry. We are also offering, if anybody suspects that they may have magical ability, we are also offering to test and give at least basic training to anybody who believes they may have magical abilities. If you are interested, please apply to blah, 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 blah.
Sure. At Aspida Keep.
Yeah.
Attention to Donald Arrows.
It's basically, we're basically putting up a job ad. This
is essentially how the Philandros Academy was started. So, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Am I going to have to invent a sorting hat?
Only if you want to.
Only if you want to.
Yeah, you could be Griffin House, Boar House, Lizard House, or Goat House.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do technically,
yeah.
Boat House!
Make a
Rowboat House.
Check, Donald, with advantage.
Okay. Guidance on this as well.
I'm totally gonna say that. So I'm like, Rowboat House!
21.
21. Roll a D100.
74.
74 members of the community come forward. Roll another D100. The number needs to be lower than 74.
Hey!
64 of which, when you test them, actually do not have any magical abilities. It's just, my grandma said we had a dead.
Oh no. The James Randi challenge.
However,
there's no, we're going to do our best not to, discourage anybody who comes in like that.
Yeah. However,
I know when it's about to rain.
My bones start hurting when that happens.
Yeah. However, 10 of them do have some proclivity on Milo's level of a variety of magics that include both arcane, natural, and divine magics.
Okay. Well,
meaning they know a few cantrips.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm actually gonna. You can have the arcane ones, Artanis. I would like the natural ones. We just don't have anybody who knows anything about divine magic. So Artanis, you can also take those ones.
Roll a d10. It's split 5 and 5. 5 of them are natural magic practitioners, and 5 of them are a mix of arcane and divine magic.
Okay.
We'll say 3 arcane and 2 divine.
I've got a little bit of divine magic.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you get the divine casters.
So you now have 6 students, Artanis.
Excellent. Help me make some cocks.
And you
Please don't say that to your students like that. That sounds so bad.
And Donald, you now have 5 students, and you guys can create those NPCs and get back to me.
Okay, sounds good.
Is it an abuse of power to have your students working on your cocks?
That's why I said don't say it.
The best one of the night. The best one of the night. The best one of the night. But you guys can, and you can, and they each know 3 cantrips, which you can choose for them. So you can come up with their names and what 3 cantrips they know.
Okay. Okay. I can work with that. I feel like Farah would have done this already if she knew who it was. Purapane. She's still on the island, right? Former Sultan?
She is.
Okay. We haven't done anything with her.
You have not. Make just a general wisdom check. 13. From what you've heard, just the rumors around town, she chose a plot out in the farmlands and kind of keeps to herself.
Okay. I do kind of want to go talk to her, and I do kind of want to bring Farah if I can.
All right.
Cousin, we need to go talk to the former Sultan of Al Ruam, who happens to live on this island.
This is the woman who named you champion of Aspida, or of Al Ruam, Farah.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I went to the wrong spot. Sultan Pura Pain. However, she is missing her left arm below the elbow now and walks with a severe limp. And her right eye. Which you know happened, you watched happen during the fall of Al Ruam, Farah.
Metal.
As she had to be dragged out of the city.
Yeah.
But
I kind of want to see if we can persuade her to get back in the game, so to speak.
Indeed.
As I will explain to Farah as well.
So yeah, on the walk there, what do you guys? How do you convey what this trip is about, Donald?
So you knew the Sultan, right?
Well, of course. We weren't close personal friends or anything. But
Right. But you knew of her?
she was a great warrior and I'm sure she still is.
Right. Well, we are a little bit short of great warriors and great leaders. With a whole ton of... With all the undead and clanless coming for us, we can use as much help as we can get.
Right.
And if you're not opposed to it, I'd like your help in persuading her to give us a hand, cousin.
All right, let's do this.
Alrighty, let's do this.
I'm known for my skills of persuasion.
I am not, so I'm hoping you can help me out here.
As you guys walk through the farmland, kind of getting waves from all the different farmers as you go by, it's kind of a bit of a thrill for them to see some of the hires up in Aspida kind of walking through the road that goes through their farm, riding on whatever mounts, perhaps taking a slow walk on whatever mounts that you have. Eventually you pull up to a fence that in the far distance you can see a small wooden like cottage, but there's a wooden sort of like almost like livestock fence that goes around the property, and there's a small gate, and there's a sign hanging from the gate that in multiple languages says trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again.
Wow,
Oh, no,
she's one of
he's
those
become
now.
one of those people.
Amazing.
Wonderful. Well,
She is
All right.
now our Lieutenant Dan. Go.
Yes. Yes. All right. I'm just gonna walk through the
ice
gate.
cream. You just walk right through the gate.
Yep. Simple,
Um,
direct approach is best.
That's right. You see
Okay,
this
Wolfie, how you
sign
doing?
and it kind
Oh,
of stops
hydrate.
you in your tracks, Donald. And
Hydrating.
Farrah doesn't even break stride as she just pushes the gate open and starts walking up the footpath that goes to the
Done.
goes to the. You can see chickens kind of running around the fenced-in area. What do you do, Donald?
I mean, you know her better than I do.
Well, come on, don't let the chickens out.
I'm not. I'll go in, shut the gate behind me, make sure the chickens don't get out.
Walk up to the door and knock.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. You walk. You don't quite get to the door. As you're walking up the path, the property is big, so like it's like 200 yards from the fence to the actual small cottage, and there's just free range chickens running all through the inside of the gated in property. As you get a little bit closer to the point where you can see like the small like porch that has a bit of the roof overhang by the front door, I'd like the two of you to make perception checks.
You don't mean dexterity
19.
saves?
10.
10 and 19. Make dexterity saves, Donald, with advantage.
Ooh, good thing for that advantage. 18.
Yeah, very good thing.
Dexterity? Awesome. I'm so dexterous. Oh, 16.
Both of you dive behind a small chicken coop as you watch 3 crossbow bolts kind of into the into the grass, strategically not hitting any of the chickens there. And you hear a voice cry out that says, "I'm assuming you can't read."
No, you're assuming I care about what that sign says.
I'm reloading. Now's your best chance to run.
And why would I do that? I'm gonna just stand up and stand there in the middle of the path.
Just
I'll
kind of
stand up too.
When did she
Make
actually become a country bumpkin?
Yeah, what?
Sorry, my accent is a bit off.
Okay.
But I'm not a professional voice actor. Um, Make a persuasion check, Farah.
So natural one.
Oh, no.
There
There we
it
go.
is.
Let's go.
And that's how Aspida fell.
Donald, you hear the whizzing of another crossbow bolt as you jump behind the coop again. Farah, you take.
I was wrong. She's our Percy.
Excuse me. You take. So that's 12, 22. What's 22 plus 12? 34?
34.
You take 34 points of piercing damage as 3
Holy
crossbow-
shit! Okay.
as 3 crossbow bolts pierce your breastplate.
Do a good job of recruiting her. She hits hard.
Well,
as you kind of start, a little bit of blood kind of trickles out of the side of your lip, and she says, "You care now? What do you care now? What the sign says?"
Well, I've only been shot once. I haven't been shot again.
I will hit Pharaoh with a Cure Wounds.
You got hit with actually 3 separate attacks. There's 3 separate hospitals.
Well, it's really, I only got shot once, really.
Yeah,
There,
I mean
have a
they all
Cure Wounds.
happened within microseconds of each other, so you know. She says, "Look, I know who you are, and I know what you want. So that's why I'm going to give you an opportunity to leave."
So that's it? You'd rather let this place that's become a new home to yourself and your people maybe get wiped out rather than just hear us out for a little bit?
Make a persuasion check.
I did cast Enhanced Ability on myself. I put it in chat.
Yes, you did, and you haven't taken any damage that you would have to make a concentration check. So
15.
15. More bolts don't fly, so that's good. But you hear a voice that calls back and says, "I told you in Ralos I was trying to find a safe, permanent harbor for my people, and then I was going to disappear. You can take care of them far better than I ever could. Now go do it."
You did tell us that in Relos, but I don't know. I figured someone like you who's had one home taken from them would be ready to do whatever you could to keep another one. I'm not asking you to jump on the front lines and swing a sword, even though, if by how much Farah's bleeding is any indication, you're still plenty good with a crossbow. You led the defense of a siege against the Empire for 10 years without giving in to them. We could use your mind. And the people, especially those people who you brought here. I bet they could use the sight of you as well.
Make another persuasion check.
Feel free to chime in whenever, Farah. I'm kind of shooting in the dark here. Though she certainly isn't.
Your story.
Again, arrow bolts do not fly, and she would have had plenty of time to reload at this point. But she does call out again and says, I will defend this plot of land from whatever comes to take it. Though my leading days are done.
I'm going to take 3 steps forward and then go down on one knee. And I'm going to say in Infernal, you named me the champion. But a champion can only do as much as a champion can do. Champions are not leaders. You and I have to do what we have to do in order to protect those who cannot fight for themselves. Because we have the power to do so.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. And
Okay.
guidance, apparently.
You got this.
What's guidance, a D4?
D4.
Yes.
24.
Hey!
24. There's a long, silent pause. And you hear the sound of bolts firing again, but they all impact into the ground in front of you at your feet, Farah, as you watch Hurripane holding a modified light crossbow as she kind of steps down off of her porch. Donna, you feel a little bit more comfortable kind of stepping out from behind cover at this point. As she walks up and says, I will extract vengeance for playing on my emotions.
I would expect nothing less.
What is it you need? Come inside. I have tea on.
God damn it, Artanis.
And get this man a shield.
Yeah.
She invites you guys inside and pours you guys some tea, which there's a bit of cornmeal dust in the teacups from all the chickens. There's just a cacophony of clucks coming from outside. As she sits you down and says, so what exactly is it that you want of me?
Done.
I'm just gonna turn to Donald and be like, this is your show now. I got us here.
You sure did. we're not, like I said, we're not looking for you to stand on the front lines or anything. But frankly, you're the person who spent the most time fighting against Calcaria of anyone, probably, leading the fight against Calcaria for the last decade. I'm not asking you to... I'm asking you to lend us your experience and your mind and your advice. I honestly think we'd be fools not to ask you and see what advice you can give us. Calcaria is sending... Well, we can't prove it's Calcaria. Someone looks to be sending a force full of clanless dwarves and a massive horde of undead skeletons at us from the north.
Well, I thought you said that it was you need help because of my experience with Calcarians.
That too. We are right on Calcaria's doorstep. We're going to need as much help as we can get making sure that this place is as safe from Calcaria as it can get. And you have the most experience of anybody I know for that. Besides one person, but he's on the other side of Olympia right now.
Who is that?
Father.
She's gonna make a check. Hold on. See if she can put 2 and 2 together. You're that Admiral's boy.
I didn't know anybody outside of Telrune knew him.
I was a sailor first. I know of him. I heard of that bit of naval mastery he pulled off around the Moldy Grove.
That's one way to describe it.
Impressive tactics.
The dwarves have taken to calling it a massacre, apparently.
It's not an inaccurate description.
No, it's not.
Impressive tactics, though.
He always was one. He always was excellent at what he did.
She says, give me an opportunity to see 2 things here. I reach out to some of my new dwarven neighbors, introduce myself for the first time, see if they will look after my chickens. And I will come and see you in a few days at your keep, and I will be happy to lend you and your council my knowledge. But I do not wish to voluntarily step on a battlefield.
Understandable.
I am more than happy to assist you in an advisory role.
That's all we ask you for. Thank you. Sorry, big cat's screaming.
Feed me, feed me. You guys finish your tea. She escorts you back to the front porch and says, take off the sign on your way out.
Certainly.
That sign.
She says, now get lost, I have a lot to do. She starts yelling at a pair of her chickens that are fighting. Like a drill sergeant. Some habits die hard.
Of course.
But the chickens snap too. And you guys make your way back to the keep. What else would you like to accomplish, Donald?
Well, I mean, how much do we need new money, guys?
Define how much do we need new money?
Or how much do we need money?
You would know that better than anybody else, Master of Coin.
Yeah.
How much do we want money?
Again.
Why are you?
Mhm.
I mean, the answer is quite a bit. What's your hesitation?
I'm thinking about going to Narathos and asking, not for a loan, but for partnership. Hence my hesitation, Mel.
Yeah.
Hence my hesitation.
Why?
Kind of a partnership. Why does she look sick now?
Make a history check, Farah.
Another one of my very high.
Look, you just nailed a 24 on that persuasion
Don't
check.
jinx it.
I do have a +5 to persuasion. And much.
Oh, good.
She's very charismatic.
That's an actual 20!
Yay! You know about this.
So you are familiar with Directicava Mistane. They are the leader of and head of state of Narathos, the city that Al-Rawam refugees fled to immediately after the fall of Al-Rawam, where the director graciously allowed you to set up a tent city outside of their walls, and was more than happy to sell vital supplies to you that you needed, and did, however, fund the voyage for all of the refugees to Aspida. Though the passage was difficult, there was a couple days towards the end, right before you arrived, where you kind of ran out of food. You know them to be an extremely shrewd negotiator, with their primary focus being on whatever is profitable and will make Narathos prosperous. You know that they are have some talents with the arcane. They're older for a dragonborn. They're in their 60s. They have a fierce belief in independence and respect logic and honor. However, they are known for never breaking their word.
What would this partnership entail?
Distribution rights for non-government use of the Cox. Not making them.
Donald gets a lot of silence in response.
Look, are we all right with asking Narathos to are we all right with asking Narathos to invest in helping us make Cox faster in exchange for a share of the profits from them? For some sales of them.
I mean, Artanis, they're your Cox. I hate this!
Oh.
I think
This is how I feel whenever somebody mentions Domogranis.
You started this war, Artanis. You fired the first shots.
Yeah, but I'm not taking offense at any of it, so I think I'm still winning.
He's too easygoing. We can't make fun of him.
But anyway, Artanis, everybody kind of seems to be looking to you to get your opinion.
If I'm open to it, if we can negotiate some sort of like, is the idea that like I would teach them how to make them?
No.
And they would...
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it offline.
Why?
Or we can do it now. No. No. We would basically... They'd be investing in helping us hire more people to enchant and making sure that we can get the materials that we need and stuff like that. In exchange, we would be agreeing to sell them, basically sell them cocks, and they would be the exclusive distributors of cocks to anybody who needed them outside of the official governments of the Republic. Narafos has the money to do it, and frankly, we need to throw them a bone if we want them to vote for us to actually join the Republic.
And they have the ships to do it.
And they have the ships to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm open to it. I'm just trying to think of, it's the whole...
That would involve, I will, to help you make your decisions, Artanis, that would involve you teaching a bunch of people that proprietary enchantment knowledge.
Exactly.
Because right now there's only 3 people on the planet who know how to do it.
Exactly. And so the more people that know how to do it, the less secret it is.
Less valuable it becomes.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably going to have to teach somebody, unless you want to spend every day that we're on the island working on these. We're going to have to teach somebody else to do it eventually.
Just got 10 students.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think maybe if we can set up some sort of distribution agreement with them, but I think the people that we teach actually need to be Aspidan citizens.
Yeah. That would not be... Yes. That's not in question.
Well-vetted
so
Aspidan citizens.
Blurt asks, then what exactly would be the agreement? They're giving you money for rights for distribution?
Yes. So we agree to sell exclusively to them for some sort of reduced price.
So basically, you want to make them middlemen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Ost kind of says...
Have we already agreed to somebody else having rights?
No.
No.
We did not.
All right, we're talking to the guy from Spartus.
Spartus showed interest in buying them.
Yeah.
But this would also be like specifically non-governmental distributions for non-governmental use.
So basically, they have the rights to sell them to anybody that's not in the republics.
Okay.
To anybody who's not specifically part of, like, if Spartus wants to buy them to keep their supplies cold
for their
soldiers,
then they can buy them direct from you. But if it's a commercial purchase, like if some duke wants a bunch of refrigerators, they need to buy them from Narafos.
Exactly.
Ost does speak up and says, I mean, Master Artanis, you did speak of this being like the ability to keep food fresh for longer periods of time could drastically alter the average living conditions for Republic citizens or citizens of any place. You had been talking about using it for such things.
Agreed. No, I'm absolutely on board with the idea. I just want to make sure that the knowledge of how to produce them remains proprietary.
Of course, that remains with us. We're not offering to sell them the knowledge or anything. We're just offering them the results of the process. We'll retain control over who makes them. Essentially Narafos should just be able to, either we send them to them and they send them out, or they send a couple ships here every once in a while, pick up what we've made, and distribute them off to whoever wants them, and pay us in the process.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. I'll have to head to Narafos then.
Yep. Probably be Pick says probably be a good idea to send word ahead so that let them know you're coming.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm wanting to talk business.
Yeah. And how long would that trip take?
I don't know. Ossel, are you willing to give me a hand?
You need me to be another messenger again?
No, I need you to come with me. Unless I'm supposed to.
I need you to drive. I gotta borrow your car. 17 hexes. It's sail.
Yeah. Or
We're
13
definitely
to
making
fly.
it back in time for the general, though, right?
You also now have griffin mounts.
Oh, yeah. How fast do griffins go?
Griffins, I believe, has a fly speed of 60.
Okay. That sounds right.
I'm double checking right now. A fly speed of 80, as a matter of fact.
There you go.
So they are essentially hex a day. So long as they're not over the sea for more than a day's travel, you can take them pretty much anywhere, and it's a direct line because they don't have to worry about roads and terrain.
But I still
Okay.
get the benefit from favorite terrain, or no?
You would. Yeah, you would. Sky isn't one of your favorite terrains, though.
Yeah. Not one you could pick.
No, so I'm just saying though, like not for nothing.
All right. I think I can hop the strait over here and get to Narafos in 12 days total.
But yeah,
If I
I'm
had a
just
griffin.
busting your balls. If it's over sea, you would get quarter time, or if it's over plains or hills, you would get quarter time. So instead of a day, it would be shorter than that. So
All right. Well, I'm not making any more casts.
you do have to go like that. You're right, because you need to.
Yeah, but then we have those 4 hex. Then we have these 4 are 1 day.
Actually, those would be coast and sea, so that would be quarter time.
Yeah, so 1 day to cover these 4 hexes.
Yeah.
Then we basically only have 2 hexes where we're covered in
Mountains.
where we're in mountains. That's
so
12 total.
So those are still just a day. The mountain ones.
So 4 days ish.
So 4 days to fly there, however long you're there, and 4 days to fly back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll escort him.
Hey, we can use those griffins you did so well in taming.
Tony Montana is mine.
Okay, I don't know which one Tony Montana is.
Are either of you proficient in air vehicles?
Fuck no.
No.
This should be fun.
Oh,
Do either
great.
of you have any sort of like the mounted combatant feat or anything like that?
Air vehicles are different from land vehicles?
Air
Yes.
vehicles? Yeah.
Bullshit.
No. That's a negative.
That's a negative?
Wait,
Gotcha.
do you have
What?
to wait? Because like riding a horse isn't considered land vehicles normally, right? It's like
Sure.
carriages.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, I can ride a horse.
Yeah. You can ride on a horse. You might not be able to ride horses.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I can climb up on the back of a horse and it can take me places.
Yeah.
Like,
Wouldn't that be considered like
following the
animal
horse,
handling
like
for?
following the horse in front of me,
Hmm.
right? But I don't know how to ride horses.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can climb onto the back of a griffin and try and get it to go a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Would that be animal handling and not like a vehicle?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's not like you're proficient with these things, so stuff might go wrong. Is all.
Hmm.
If we sail, will we get back before the general?
I don't know. It depends on what happens.
When is the general coming?
October. It's August.
Yeah, we have 2 months. We'll be
Sail.
back in time.
Sail.
Well, I can try to help them learn how to ride griffins. Were there any spirits on the island that knew about riding griffins before that I could get some animal handling and change my skill set out and help them out with it?
You could do that, and then if they dedicated enough time to it, then before they left, then that would be taken into consideration. However, just as a, to figure it out, what's that? 17. So that's quartered as well. So,
4 unchanged.
4.
4 and change to sail there anyway. For you, Ossel?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sail. I don't.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous thing. Just because we got these cool griffins doesn't mean we need to use them right away.
You can also take a contingent of soldiers as your personal bodyguard that way as well.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Probably take. You could take because you need to staff this ship, crew the ship anyway. So you could take like a couple dozen of the dwarven Thorns Marines. With you, as well as your retainers, should you choose.
Yeah, Blurt's coming with me.
Either way, I'm gonna learn how to griffin.
You can certainly still not to kibosh on that. You can absolutely still do that. I'm just
totally gonna do that.
Yeah, totally. Like absolutely, please still do that. I'm just saying.
We need to learn to griffin. We can't just griffin.
Yeah, like you can just griffin, but if you really want to do it, like I can, like I've never driven a motorcycle before, and I can climb on the back of one, and I could probably get it to go straight. But I wouldn't say I know how to ride motorcycles. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna join in on the learning how to griffin.
Sweet. Good idea. I would be doing that if I was a PC, joining in on the learning how to griffin. But yeah, so you guys set sail off to Narafos. Mel and Farah are learning how to griffin, and Artanis is doing a whole lot of enchanting. And I guess that is where we will pick things up, not next week, but the week after.
Oh yeah.
As I will not be here next week.
On your high
shit.
holiday?
On my high
right.
holiday, we will be partaking of the tradition of going to watch Reefer Madness at a theater
Hey.
on 420.
Yep. Fair.
Yes.
So yeah.
And I will absolutely in no way be imbibing any sort of mind-altering substance
No.
Of course.
Why would you do that?
before
That's
such a
terrible.
viewing.
What
Of
even
course
is
not.
that?
I know. I don't
Yeah.
even. Yeah, it's weird.
Mm. Stay in school, kids.
That's right.
Mm.
Just say no. That's
Mm.
what the cool kids do.
Yeah.
Booyah. The Iron Serpent is over in Narafos.
Sweet. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We'll be back the week after next. I'll be back on Friday for Misty Shore. So until then, I'm just gonna. There's only a few of you. Go find your favorite streamer. Send them love from all of us. Till next time, y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder, and my partners love me for it.